Tom. We were talking about music and everything backstage.
And you know what happens when that happens.
You know when that happens. So everybody, Friday night, welcome. We have Sherry the Crow.
I'm probably going to mess this up because I'm signing into my YouTube account so I can comment.
So Sherry's a little shy, camera shy.
Very camera shy.
So we will be talking to her alter ego, alter avatar.
I cannot join the chat, so.
All right, but we appreciate everybody being here. So let's just kind of back it up a little bit. Amanda, Mama Sushi, is here. And Tom's been watching the Artemis Splashdown. Yep, Kerplunk. Remember that game, everybody? Kerplunk. I couldn't resist. And Nancy said she watched it too. And I've seen some jokes. They said, well, the dark side of the moon doesn't look much like the difference of the light side of the moon. So, all that money. And there's our Miss Nancy. Nancy's going to be lurking.
Nancy.
Nancy's saying hi to Sherry.
Hi.
And let's see. Okay, so everyone putting people's links in, and Shelby is here. All righty, let's see who else. I know we got a few other people. She's trying to get her aunt to come in because actually, Sherry, this is Shelby, and she lives in Massachusetts.
Oh, so nice.
She's familiar with them and has had her experiences in certain areas of the state. And we have Nalani here. That's Hypnicity. Hello, my dear. And going down. Now I got that monkey song in my head. Going down. So Lisa Fisher is here. Hello, Lisa. I think you're new to my chat. Good to see you. That's right. Sherry's still a pretty bird. Yes. Gotta love my crows, my ravens. Jax is here. Mangled unicorn. Let's see. So, all righty. Well, okay, let's keep going. Lisa is my aunt. Oh, so Lisa, hello, Shelby's aunt. So, Lisa, if there's anything that you want to share in your experiences, please let us know. I've never been I lived in Massachusetts briefly, but I didn't get down to any of the area where the triangle is. And Tina is here. Hello, that's Sybil. Hello, Tina. And Scat is actually Sherry. So
yep, that's me.
She is here in chat. So, more comments already. Beth is here. Aspasia Rising, or sometimes asparagus, as we like to call her. Well, auto corrected that to one of us one day, and they changed it from Aspasia to asparagus. It was quite funny. And so Lisa actually lives in the triangle. Ooh! And for people who don't know, this is my Shan. This is the second show you've done with me, right? Or third? No, third.
Third.
Because you did the reading with
that's right.
whatchamacallit and I briefly for the haunted house you grew up in. And so everybody's saying hello, and I think we are caught up for now. So let me just take now there we go. Let me just take Lisa down here. And all righty. Well, Sherry, how this got started was about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Allison, Tom, and I were talking about cryptids and paranormal and all that good stuff. And the Bridgewater Triangle got mentioned. And Tom was like, hey, I have a friend who actually lives in or around the area. Let's see if she wants to do a show. That is Sherry. And so we invited her on. And so just setting that little background up. Sherry, share everybody. Share with everybody a little about yourself.
I mean, I grew up in the Bridgewater Triangle. I live down near Fall River now, which is famous for Lizzie Borden.
Hi, Lexi.
I don't really know how to start. So I guess
as they say, we start from the beginning. I don't know if that's a good idea, but
I guess the Bridgewater Triangle is like this big area in Massachusetts, and the reason it's called the Bridgewater Triangle is because the town of Bridgewater is smack in the middle of it. And there's a giant swamp called the Hockomock Swamp, which I forget what we looked up. What did we look up, and what did it mean last night?
Oh, geez. I just literally, I think I
we
just
watched
closed it.
that video, but I don't think she said what
It
it
was
was.
like spirit waters or
It's
something like that.
something
Yeah.
something spirits.
Yeah.
Spirit of the
There's
water.
there's a lot of native lore in this area, obviously, but
It's actually it was an Algonquin word.
yeah.
But it's not the other one.
Let me look it up.
Yeah, we were watching a video and they were talking.
Place where spirits dwell.
That's it.
And we've got like Bigfoot sightings up here. We've got Thunderbirds. We've got UFO. A lot of UFO sightings. There's like a lot of paranormal experiences that people have within the confines of the Bridgewater Triangle, which was, I think, the term was coined by Lauren Coleman years ago, like back in the 70s. And so he's the one who plotted out the points for the three corners of the triangle, but it actually seems to extend like beyond.
Yes, that's what
it shows on the map.
It definitely bleeds out.
Yeah. Yep. But like my personal experience there, there's a lake in Bridgewater called Lake Nipponicket, and locally we call it the Nip. And the Nip is like, I don't think that there's a beach where you can swim, but there's people do a lot of like fishing and motor boating and stuff like that. And there's a parking lot right up.
Are you saying that people motorboat the Nip?
Oh, shut up. How family friendly is this chat?
Oh, believe me. Anything can fly in here.
So there's a parking lot right off of Route 104 in Bridgewater. And back then, this was probably, I want to say, I was dating this guy named Ed. And it was right before I turned 21. Like it was the October before I turned 21. And this parking lot late at night was a place where teenagers in early 20s would go to, make out or whatever. So we were there and we were parked down by the water so that the front of the car was looking across the water. Yeah, there's a boat ramp there. And so on the opposite shore, there was like a sandy beach area, and we could see this bonfire and all of these people, like a whole bunch of people just kind of running around it and dancing around it and whatever. And the guy I was with grew up near there and had a lot of friends who hung out over there. And he said, oh, I bet you I know some people over there. They're having a big party. We should go check it out. So I was like, oh, yeah, all right. That'll be fun. So we drive down 104, the highway a little bit. I mean, the main road a little bit. And then we take this right to go around to where that beach is. And the only way to get to where that beach was this dirt road that went through the woods. And it was very bumpy, so it took us a little while to get there, but maybe like 10 to 15 minutes from where we were parked. And we get over there, and the beach is empty. Nothing there, no sign that anything had been there. And so we get out of the car, and we're walking along the side of the water, looking further down to see if maybe we miscalculated where this was. And there's no way we could have, because standing on the beach looking across, there was the parking lot. So we should have at least seen light shining on the water or something. Mm-hmm. We didn't see anything, nothing. No sign that anybody had been there anytime recently. Wow. And this was in October, so it wasn't like it was the middle of summer where you expected people to be, over there. So he was like, well, that's weird. So we got back in the car. We stayed there for a little while, and we were just kind of parked there and looking at the water, and like this thing popped up out of the water, almost like a periscope, and but it was organic, and it looked like, I would say, like a turtle head or a snake head, but it was bigger. It was like probably the size of my fist. And it popped up and it had like one single eye and it just looked like it was looking at us. And I said, all right, that's enough. We're leaving. Let's go. So we go back around to the parking lot where we were earlier. And once again, that big bonfire with all the people around it was over there. We could see it again. And it was definitely the little sandy beach area where we were.
That's really weird.
Like there was no doubt in my mind that we were over there and there was nothing there when we were there. But now that we were back on the other side, there was something over there. They were back, it was back. So that was my experience. I don't know what the thing in the water was.
We didn't hear that. We watched that in between in Carolina. I mean, I know there's a documentary we didn't get to watch because it was too long, but everything but that was mentioned.
Well, I don't know if that's
Has
ever
anybody else seen that?
right, Sherry. Like that's not a common occurrence. Like that's not like I don't know. Have you ever heard anybody else have that experience?
I know that years ago I spoke to somebody who was a researcher for the Bridgewater Triangle and told him that story. And so I know that my story has become part of the
lore
that they talk about. My story is one of the ones that they give as examples. So I don't remember what the guy's name was. I know that he was big into the Bridgewater Triangle and researching, and he asked people to submit their experiences. So I had submitted that experience years ago. And I think that people have seen strange bonfires and weird lights. Mm-hmm. I know there's also like orbs that people see floating around in the air. But I mean, it is also the Hockomock Swamp is also a big part of the Bridgewater Triangle. So it could be, swamp gas or something. But like
the favorite go-to, it was swamp gas.
Yeah. It's just a balloon.
Yeah. And hey, girl.
But, I mean, when I was a kid back in the early 70s, I remember I remember the newspapers reporting these big black dogs that were loose in the next town over from us that had killed some guys' Shetland ponies, like ripped their throats out. And I remember that because my dad was like, you're not going outside after dark, because I was only maybe like 6 years old or 7 years old. He's like, you're not going out, you're not going outside after dark. You have to stay in the house, because there were these giant black dogs on the loose that I don't think they ever caught them. I think they were just, but yeah, there's some weird stories in the Bridgewater Triangle. A lot of ghost sightings and the hitchhiker.
Yeah. Is this the redheaded one? They talk
about the redheaded hitchhiker, but he shows up in a town called Rehoboth. And when I saw a weird hitchhiker, it was in New Bedford, which is in the opposite. Like if you're looking at a triangle, the bottom left corner, the bottom west corner would be where Rehoboth would be, and the bottom right corner would be where New Bedford would be. And I was driving home to Fall River from New Bedford, and I was getting off the highway on this on-ramp. And my headlights, it was nighttime, and my mother was with me. And we were going around the off-ramp, and all of a sudden my mother says, oh my gosh, look out, there's a guy on the side of the road. And I was like, where? I didn't see him. And she says, yeah, he was right there. So I look in my rearview mirror, and there was nothing there. So my mother's like, oh, there definitely was a man there. So we went back. I went down to the next exit and turned around and went back. And when we came back around going off that same off-ramp, I saw him standing on the other side of the guardrail. And he was just like this big guy wearing a plaid flannel shirt.
They said plaid jeans, something like jeans, like a lumberjack, and they said some people saw red hair and a red beard and soulless eyes.
And so he was just standing there, and when I looked in my rearview mirror again, he was not there. So we
Yeah.
did it again. We went off the next exit and went back,
He's got some guts.
and he was there again. But again, when I looked in my rearview mirror, he was not there. And I could see headlights from other cars that were lighting up where I had seen him, and he was not there. So I don't know. I tell that story, but I don't know if it was the supposed redheaded hitchhiker, because he's usually seen in Rehoboth, and I saw it in New Bedford.
Okay.
So
he may get around. He hitchhikes. I also want to know, was
he was really tall. Yeah. I mean, I'm only 5'5", so
Me too.
I would
say,
judging by the height of the guardrail, he was maybe 6'2". So to me, that's tall.
Size.
I don't know. He's not, he could have been taller than that. I don't know, but he was not a giant, but he was tall. Yeah.
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 The show that we were watching today, when you were talking about campfires, there's a particular ledge that people said that the wampum belt that had been stolen by, what was it, one of the King Edwards or one of the King's armies or something, was returned to the local native chief. I can't think of his name. But they sometimes see an apparition of what looks like him, the chief, sitting on top of the ledge in front of a fire, a ghostly fire, campfire, just kind of like sitting there like in prayer or something. So that's what we've heard about when we saw the video.
Yeah, King Philip, probably King Philip.
Yeah, King Philip.
Yeah. But I mean, there's so many stories. There's so many stories of people like going encountering weird, what they think are spirits or ghosts or whatever, which could be like, maybe they're ghosts. I don't know if I believe in ghosts necessarily, or memories of an area, or or a thin layer between us and another time period. Maybe I remember the story that I heard, that I read once, about this place called Shad Factory. I think it's Shad or Shan. I don't remember. I think it's Shad Factory. It's like an old mill. It's like an old mill along the water. And there was an older gentleman who went out there to go fishing, and he was walking down the path, and he came face to face with a Native American dressed in like old traditional Native American garb. And the two of them like shocked each other. Like they both looked at each other with their jaws dropped. And then the Native American guy just kind of disappeared. And so what I always thought when I heard that kind of story is that maybe there was like a little thin area of time, and that somebody from now saw through to another dimension and saw somebody from then. Yeah. And that's why they were both shocked to see each other,
Let's see, Lisa. Well, I just want to jump really quick. So Lexi, I did put like a Wikipedia link into the chat for people to see where it is on the map. So hopefully you and Nathan were able to find that. And then Jack said the Bridgewater Triangle one-eyed creature is often identified, as the Pukwudgie.
Yep.
Pukwudgie, a 3 to 4 foot tall, gray-skinned troll-like creature from Wampanoag. Is that right?
Wampanoag.
Wampanoag. Excuse me, folklore.
Wampanoag. Some people call it Wampanoag, but I think it's Wampanoag. They're an Algonquin tribe. They're Algonquin.
We learned about them too. And others report a creature with saucer-like eyes, including 1970s accounts of a pot-bellied creature that beckoned a witness in Raynham, often nicknamed Red-Eye Dick. Now where's Miss Carol D when we need her?
Yeah.
Anyway, but I know, Moira, I lost your comment for some reason. It took it out of the star comments, but she was asking about, and this is something Shan and I were talking about. Do you know, Sherry or Tom, if the Bridgewater lays between any ley lines where they might get this energy that kind of ramps up the area?
I don't know. I
Yeah,
never
I don't
really
know.
looked into that part of it that much.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have any idea.
Okay.
Possible. I mean, there's ley lines all over the place.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised,
Mhm.
but
And Lisa shared, I live across the street from an area of the swamp. There have been several times late at night that my husband and I have heard loud screams coming from the swamp. So, yeah. And when it comes to the screams, I know that the hitchhiker that they were talking about on our video today, he every time that he would sometimes talk, sometimes not, but before he disappeared, he would do this like creepy cackle, like, I mean, and then if he didn't, do it in the car, one girl said that it actually came through her radio where it cackled and did this like maniacal,
Yeah.
laugh. So,
There's all kinds of stories. There's stories of like
tell them the
Indians
Thunderbird one.
Indians floating down a river in
Yeah.
a canoe, like it's crazy.
Like
Well,
your experience.
I was driving on the highway on Route 24 in Bridgewater, and I saw the shadow of a bird go over my car, but it was not like a normal bird size. This thing was gigantic.
Yep.
And we had in my neighborhood, the people down the street, like 3 houses down from us, had a pigeon coop. So they used to have eagles land on their pigeon coop. So I know the size of an eagle, and this thing was way bigger than an eagle, just based on its it's the shadow of its wings. But I didn't actually see because I couldn't, like I was driving, so I was like trying to look up, and I just couldn't because I was driving. So I don't know if what I saw was a Thunderbird, but I mean, it was way bigger than anything that I ever saw in that
Do you
area.
know what I'm assuming you, because of the area, you research and know what a Thunderbird is, or do you want me to pull it up on my phone?
Oh, you can pull it up.
Okay, so
I think it's a native something.
It's
it has
native,
to do with native
so-
lore.
yeah.
and now I'm getting something else here. Oh, come on. No, I don't want the personal information manager date. Hold on a second. But yeah, there we go. Thunderbird, Native American. So the Thunderbird is a powerful supernatural bird in Native American mythology, symbolizing strength, protection, and control over storms and Jax. Protection and control over storms and lightning. The Thunderbird is a legendary creature found across many Native American tribes in the United States and Canada, including the Pacific Northwest, Great Lakes, Great Plains, and the American Southwest. It is often depicted as a massive bird of prey or a hybrid, and this is what we heard too, of human and bird, like a pterodactyl, or was it a pet? Did she say pterodactyl it looked like? Or, okay, someone said it looked like a pterodactyl. It is often depicted as massive bird prey human with a wingspan so large that the flapping of its wings produces thunder, and lightning is said to flash from its eyes. The Thunderbird is considered a protector spirit, guarding humans from evil forces and malevolent underworld beings like the great horned serpent or underwater panther. Well, that's new to me. And then it goes on a little bit, but that's, the basis. And let's see, what did you send me, sweetheart? She told me to use this. Well, it's kind of hard to, I don't think I can put that up to the screen. I don't think people are going to be able to see it, but just type in cryptids of Massachusetts and you get these interesting,
Yep.
The Thunderbird almost in a way kind of almost sounds a little bit like Mothman, for people who
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
It's got a Mothman-y type of thing going on.
But I mean, another part of the triangle touches on Freetown State Forest, which is right next to Fall River, And back in the 70s, they had a lot of like satanic type stuff going on, supposedly over there. And there were some well documented, like newsworthy murders that happened over there as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We heard about that. We also heard about the accounts of satanic cults doing rituals, kids stealing bodies out of a mausoleum. And they said that there was a young lady, I think it was the 70s, that had been kidnapped, tied to a tree. And
Yeah, Mary Lou Aruda. I remember
Yeah.
when that happened.
and they took her head. Did they ever find her head, honey? Because they said the officer said they found a headless body. Did they ever find her?
No, they found her. She was intact. She was just
Oh,
tied to a tree.
so
And
that was misinformation then. Okay.
there were some murders that took place in Freetown State Forest involving like ladies of the evening from Fall River, I'll call them.
Right.
And it was they took this girl out there, they tied her up, they took her head off, and they played soccer with her head and left her body underneath the bleachers at Diamond Regional High School, I think, which was like when I first moved to Fall River, I became obsessed with all the lore of, I wanted to know everything about Fall River. So I became very, very deeply interested in Lizzie Borden. And then these murders that happened in Fall River back in the 70s. And it was just, these two women were, the high school that it happened at was like maybe 4 or 5 houses up from where my first apartment was, which creeped me out. But those people were all caught, and it was a prostitution ring run by this guy named Carl Drew, and he's in prison for the rest of his life or whatever. But that one, the head was never found.
Okay,
the witnesses that were involved that were there said that they were kicking it around in the woods. But the Mary Lou Aruda one, I'm pretty sure she was found intact, tied to a tree, and she had been
didn't get her facts straight.
Assaulted, and yeah, that was pretty horrible. That happened when I was a kid. That Mary Lou Aruda one. I mean, so did the ones in the 70s, but I didn't live in this part of the state back then, so I knew nothing about any of those ones. But I do remember Mary Lou Aruda. It was pretty horrible.
I know Beth said that she remembers it was kind of like the satanic panic, I know it's been called, where because of after Manson, everybody thought they were seeing things. And
and I don't
know, a lot of it did still happen though.
I don't think these ones in Freetown involved. They said that it was all, satanic, but it was just this crazy guy.
It's just crazy people.
Just crazy people, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think
crazy people were.
Don't feed into it. That's the shit that it's that just trickles down. That kind of crazy talk just trickles down into even Wiccan and all just witch shit. I mean, it has nothing to do with it.
You can find a circle of stones in the woods and a pentagram, and it's not Satanist. It's probably somebody out there dancing naked under the moon or something.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I miss doing that, but anyway.
But these murders in the 70s, they attributed them to a satanic cult, and it was not a satanic cult. It was this prostitute ring, and a couple of the women were becoming a little bit too vocal about who they worked for, and he got rid of them, basically.
So, really quick, Lisa said, I found a head of a small cow in my backyard a few years ago. I called the police and they told me I could bury it. I went out the next morning and it was gone. So maybe animals came, scavengers, coyotes or something.
That's crazy.
And Beth has a question for you, Sherry. Do you think, and here we go, Lizzie Borden committed those murders? There are a few other suspects, and she was found not guilty. Because if people saw Falls River, automatically a lot of you would know. Wait a minute, why does that sound familiar?
I don't think she did. And if she did, I think she knew about it. I think she knew who did it, but I think it was covered up by the local police and the local government. I don't think she did it.
Yeah.
I actually am kind of sideways employed with the company that runs the Lizzie Borden house. I'm going to be giving cemetery tours in Fall River.
Very cool. I know that when GAC did an investigation back in the day, and I know with them a little bit, you got to handle things with a grain of salt, but there has been some talk.
Who's
Um,
GAC? I don't know who GAC is.
Ghost Adventures Crew.
Oh God. Okay.
Your buddy Zach.
Oh God.
So, but some of what people have talked about, they're thinking that if Lizzie had done it or her sister, was because of abuse by the father.
Well, yeah.
The mother not.
Yeah.
When they did a ghost box session or something, there was some information coming out kind of confirming that suspicion. I don't know if that's something that the folks around town keep hush hush if there's, because I mean, they said he was not the most pleasant man. He could be very violent. And some people also speculate that it might have been I don't know if it was someone he had done business with or he had fired or had walked away from that came and took revenge. So do you have any inkling of what they think might be the actual or what the most likely scenario might be for that?
I honestly don't know. There are as many different theories of who did it and what happened, and nobody really knows. She was acquitted. She was found not guilty. So I don't. I mean,
I think there's enough.
Don't add up to me. Like her sister was away. It was like everything was convenient. They had this uncle who came in, was visiting from out of town. He came in the night before. Nobody knew he was coming. Like usually he'd say, "Oh, I'm going to be in the area," because he lived out in like some other state. And he'd say, "Oh, I'm going to be visiting. Can I stay the night?" But this time he just shows up the night before, spends the night in the guest room, leaves the house early the next day. And I mean, he leaves the house to go visit his niece who lived, a couple of miles away. But his alibi was very precise. Like at this, at 8:26, I was here, and at 8:28, I got on the trolley, and this was the name of the conductor, and this was the number of the train, and this were the names of these people who were also on the train, and it was very detailed, overly detailed. Her sister, who was pretty much a recluse and never really left the area ever, suddenly decided the week before that she was going to go on a 2-week trip to visit friends out in Fairfield.
Yeah, that was planned. That was premeditated.
and everybody that was home was outside. Lizzie Borden was supposedly outside, and the maid was upstairs on the 3rd floor taking a nap. So when the murders happened, nobody was supposedly in the house, which is why Lizzie, who was the only one who was the closest to being in the house, is the one who was tried for the murders, but she was acquitted.
Yeah.
And I think it's also conceivable that she could have done it.
It is conceivable. It is
inconceivable. Sorry, I couldn't resist. I had to say inconceivable. I'm sorry. The whole Princess Bride. When I heard conceivable, I was thinking, no, inconceivable.
I mean, anything is possible.
Yeah.
To me, thinking of a woman doing something like that in 1892,
but
there was day of the year, I don't know.
There's plenty of recorded stuff though of the abuse that the father did, and the whole house situation was weird. With the whole like selling the house and not like, or selling them the house and not selling the house, like all those weird things that were going on with the family. There's definitely reasons.
Yeah, there's supposed to be another house that they would stay at, but
yeah, because. And I forgot the whole situation. I don't remember it offhand now.
And I think, Sherry, if I remember correctly, they said that the sisters' rooms were like adjacent to or something close to the parents' room where there was easy access. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
There was
Sorry, Tom.
when I originally went on a tour of the house back when I first moved to Fall River, it wasn't open back then, but when they first opened it as a bed and breakfast, because you could spend the night there. You could sleep in the room where people were murdered, you know.
Yeah.
But way back when they first opened it to tours, I went on a tour, and when you go in the front door, you go up the stairs to the right of the front door, and there's a bedroom right at the top of the stairs where the stepmother was murdered. And then to your right, like across from the top of the stairs, there's another bedroom with a smaller room off of it, and that was Lizzie's bedroom and her sister Emma. And there's a door between Lizzie's bedroom and the room behind it, which was the parents' bedroom. And when I first took a tour initially, the door was closed and locked. And you'd go up and tour the front of the upstairs, and then to get to the rooms in the back, you'd have to go back down the stairs and up the back stairs. And when Lizzie and her sister and her parents lived there before the murders, there was something was stolen from inside the house. And they believed that Lizzie was stealing little trinkets from her father and coins and stuff. So the parents had locked the door in between Lizzie's bedroom and their bedroom, and that door was always locked, and the key was on the top of the mantel fireplace downstairs in plain view, almost like daring somebody to take the key and use it to get into the parents' room. So when I initially took the tour years ago, you could go up to the top, you could go up the front and tour the front, but you had to go back down and through and up the back stairs to see the bedrooms in the back. Now, the way the tour is set up, they take you, the doors open between those rooms, and you just tour the whole second floor in one big thing. But yeah. So I put my email address in the chat.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah,
even I did have it, so that's why I wanted to see if you wanted to respond.
I'm only doing cemetery tours, which is, it's not even a ghost tour. It's just a tour of the history of the cemetery. So it's not.
Oh, but you'll know that'll come up though. People.
It's not. Well, yeah, it's not. It's not so much Lizzie based as it touches on the Bordens, because there are a lot of Bordens in Fall River back then. So there's like a few graves that we visit that are related to the Bordens that have interesting stories, like a woman who drowned her kids in her basement next door to the Lizzie Borden house.
Oh, good Lord.
50 years before the Borden murders. There's also like a little, what do they call those little buildings where they put the bodies to keep them in the winter?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, like sepulcher or something like that. I don't know.
I think something similar with the Villisca house in Iowa. I think something happened at a nearby house not far from there too, and they were trying to pinpoint and see, well, is it because of the energy of the land? Is there something with the land? They're like, maybe it's built on the ancient burial ground. I'm just like, come on, everything pretty much is almost when people when we came in and took over the states. So
yeah. I'm hoping that someday I'll be able to do house tours, but they had enough guides when I was applied for the job. So I think the Villisca house is actually run by the same people the same company that does the Lizzie Borden house, because they were bought by this company called U.S. Ghost Adventures. And this company, when they buy these haunted or paranormal properties, they do so much research historically to restore them to what they were originally. So if you go to the Lizzie Borden house now, it looks almost exactly the way it did back in 1892, because they went really deep to try and get furniture that matched and wallpaper that matched and paintings on the walls that matched. So most of I don't think any of the furniture is original to the house, but like the radiators on the wall are, and like all the woodwork and door trims are the same as back then. But
that's cool.
I haven't read that book. No.
Okay. Yeah,
Nope.
for me, the Veliscas to me is one of the most horrendous, horrible stories. That's why I can't really, when they do shows on it, I can hardly watch them because of what that guy did to that poor family and those children. So, um, that's one that I try not to watch. Because I like watching the paranormal shows. Shan and I both do. But when you get certain ones where it gets like that, the energy is just so, it's like you got to take a shower or bath after watching it. And they pretty much had the guy, but they let him go. I'm looking to see if I missed, because I know I was trying to star stuff as you were talking, but I think I got, and Allison, I don't know if you saw, Allison has said that I just don't think she was physically capable. No. And there was like, yeah, when they checked, well, I think,
I mean,
now,
anybody
see,
can play an axe.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I don't know though. She was like our height, Tom, and
Yeah.
she was like weighed like 110 pounds or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if she necessarily could have, but anything's possible.
But why was the mother also? I mean, I can understand that the father, unless, the mother was, I mean, for me, I'm wondering if the murders were in retaliation for what was happening to allegedly, I can say, happening to the girls. And if Mrs. Borden was delivered the same, deal,
I don't
she was complicit in it, or if this was just something.
I don't really I think that the story of her being abused by her father it has been debunked.
Okay.
I think she worshipped her father.
Okay.
He had a pinky ring or something that she gave him that he wore like every day, and she adored her father. She was a Sunday school teacher too. I mean, which I think meant something different back in the 1800s as it does today. Like I couldn't see, like, you're usually a Sunday school teacher in the 1800s is going to be like very devout. So I don't really think she did it. And one of the things that I noticed when I took the tour, because I had to go on the tour I went on the tour several times last year when I was interviewing for a job over there. And one of the things I noticed is people were like, how could somebody be because the mother was murdered, the stepmother was murdered like 90 minutes before the father. And
that's right.
They were like, so
okay.
where was this person? If it was a third party, where was this person in the house? Well, when you go on the tour, there's a bathroom right at the top of the stairs next to the bedroom where the stepmother was murdered. And back in the 1800s, that was a giant closet. And I'm like, who's to say that somebody didn't sneak into the house or was in the house, murdered the stepmother, and then was just hiding in the closet up there? Nobody would have known, because there were interactions between Lizzie and the maid throughout that whole morning. After between when the stepmother was murdered and the father was murdered. So, I mean, that would be 2 times that this 5'5" woman murdered somebody brutally and should have been covered in blood. But in between the stepmother and the father, she's interacting with the maid. She's talking to a neighbor over the fence. I mean, maybe I could see once, she's got blood all over and she cleans the dress in the basement or something. But twice in the same morning, she's getting rid of what should be like herself drenched in blood. Seems unreal to me.
Yeah, it seems unreal. Yeah.
And Beth said, I thought the father was out. When he came back, he sat on the couch and was killed there.
Yeah. The stepmother was upstairs in the guest room, and she was murdered. And then like 90 minutes later, the father came home from his downtown business doings or whatever, and came upstairs. Came in the house and went into the sitting room and laid down on the couch for a nap. And somebody killed him with bashed his face in with a hatchet or an axe.
Yeah, they still show some of the picture, the black and white. Could you imagine that was color?
Wow.
You don't get to see too many,
You can sit, and if you go, you can sit, and they have like a little fake axe that you can use to pose with.
Isn't it the same couch?
It looks exactly the same, but
but it's not the same.
The furniture is not original. See,
I didn't know if they had cleaned the upholstery and stuff and kept, because sometimes, people do stuff like that. Allison wanted to know that there are differing heights for Lizzie, 5'2", 5'3", and she wanted to know if you know what her was
I don't know.
Okay.
No, I don't know. But I know she was not very tall. She was very small.
Yeah, she was framed. Let's see. So Lisa says they're going to go. Her and Shelby will go and do the tour and visit. So that'll be cool.
Yeah.
Meet up. Likely framed. Let's see. Is this a question for you? Oh no, that's for somebody else. They're talking in the family. Let's see. Did they find a dress in the closet in the kitchen? This is, I don't know.
No. Lizzie pulled a dress out of the closet in the kitchen and burned it in the wood stove in the kitchen. And one of the neighbor women was standing there and asking her what she was doing. And this was just a couple days after the murders. And she said this dress had some paint on it and she was burning it because of that reason. But there were the dressmaker that they used also testified that she had a dress that was ruined from paint. So I don't know, but it was very suspicious.
Yeah,
the neighbor lady said, I don't think you should have done that.
Yeah, it makes you kind of look a little guilty.
Yeah.
Like you're hiding something. They said she was 180 pounds. So Allison's determined to get the exact height and coordinates and weight. Mozzie, be quiet.
Yeah, I don't know if she was 180 pounds. That seems really, really big.
Yeah,
and looking at her pictures, I don't think she looks 180 pounds, but I don't know, maybe.
I mean, it's also possible that just the stats are wrong too. I mean,
yeah,
I know she was very short.
Yeah.
Hey, Allison, we should do a live show or backstage and pull cards on the Lizzie Gordon house, because I like doing stuff like, I don't know if I got to tell you that last night, Sherry. I have a show that I do called Para Oracle, and I like to pull cards on. Oh, be quiet! Get right here.
Don't yell at Shan.
Oh, that's Mozzie. He freaks out when Shan.
Oh my gosh, Shan turned into a cat.
Yep. He's a shapeshifter.
Yeah, he's a black kitty. But
they have a whole room in the basement of that house where they do nightly seances and card readings and stuff, paranormal investigations.
Yeah, but then God knows what you're constantly opening. Excuse me, continue talking amongst yourselves. Let me see if I can.
He doesn't like when she's online.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. I can go either way with the Lizzie Borden thing. I feel like it's a possibility she did it, but there's so many.
Yeah, there's so many things that are just either too precise or too coincidental. I honestly, in my heart, don't believe she did it, but I believe she is aware of who did. I think she knew who did.
I mean, that would at least explain a lot of like the behavioral stuff later on, within the falling out with her and the sister and everything and all that stuff.
Well, her sister insisted right up until she died that that Lizzie didn't do it.
Yeah.
So I really don't think she did, but
Isadora loves her pendulums, and she said 2 pendulums said not guilty. So
well, I mean, she was found not guilty, so doesn't mean your pendulums could be reading that. What did you how did you phrase the question? Is how I would ask that.
Gotta be very specific. But yeah, there was cases that we pull cards on. Yeah.
I know there was a book that came out several years ago from a guy who claimed that Andrew Borden had an illegitimate son, and that the illegitimate son was coming to demand money, and that's why the uncle had such a straight up alibi, because he helped plan this meeting, and that Lizzie helped plan the meeting, and that's why the sister was out of town, so that the father could meet privately with this illegitimate son, and that the father refused to give him the money, and that's why he axed him in the head. But that doesn't really explain the stepmother, unless the guy was like
money
hiding upstairs, But I don't know if I buy that either.
Unless she was hiding up there when she heard her husband getting, hacked, and she went running.
No, because she died 90 minutes before him.
Oh, that's right. She was the one to go first.
When the cops showed up, at the house, his blood was still dripping from his body. The mother's blood was all coagulated already.
Oh, how interesting!
And also most of the Fall River Police Department was off in Providence, Rhode Island, at a department picnic. So they just had like a bare skeleton crew on that day, and they announced it in the newspaper the night before, that the whole police department was going to be over in Providence having a picnic. Oh. So it was like it
was well coordinated.
It was the perfect day for something like that to happen and somebody to get away with it, because they knew the cops would be not there.
So, let's see, hatchet or axe?
Yeah, I don't know.
I believe it was a hatchet. I think axe. I think an axe is bigger.
Too big. This was small enough for.
Yeah, and there was a head of a hatchet that was found in the basement in a bucket of ash that could have fit the wounds, but there was no blood on it. There was some red markings on it that turned out.
Maybe that was what they wiped it on the dress. They wiped down.
Maybe. But they never found an axe or a hatchet. But
okay.
I think they decided it was a hatchet because a hatchet is small, opposed to an axe. I think you could wield a hatchet with one hand, and you need two for an axe.
And the mother was on her knees, face down between the bed and wall, not easily seen from the door. Now, when Ghost Adventures did their investigation, the woman that was the manager that did the tours at the time, I don't know if she's still there, but she was playing along with the whole thing, with, the whole father and daughter, if I remember correctly. And these shows want you to play things up, to be able to get, the ratings and everything.
Yeah. Especially that show.
And she's, I know according to the video that Kurt's screw was a little loose. I don't know if she's still there. Some woman with blonde hair at the time, but they had taken a replica. They have a replica of, what the hatchet would have looked like that probably did the murder. And but then they brought in a local psychic, and that's when they were doing the ghost box, and she, without even telling them that she was supposed to what she was going to ask. I mean, you can see them kind of like Zach and were like, wait a minute, what is she asking? Because she came right out and started asking about a possible incestuous connection. And they were all kind of like looking at her going, wait a minute, we didn't know she was going to. And then
I'm sure they didn't.
Some foul language and answers from the voice box. But at one point they were like, listen, no, she's got to stop asking this. Basically, we end this right now, because the energy, people were starting to feel, other people were starting to feel threatened. They could feel that energy. So yeah, I'm like, that's nice. You bring somebody on, and then they do that now, I'm assuming, because this was early on, I think, in the show. But you could physically see when she starts asking, they were like looking at each other going, what the hell is she? Because she never brought that up during the interview. So I don't know if you're familiar with anybody that's a psychic that might have been a part of the show Why she?
I don't know. I know that all of the people who currently work there, every one of them has had some sort of experience in the house except for one. And I think what the people who work there were telling me, because I had to go on like practice tours and stuff, so I got to know some of the people, is that this woman who works there who has not had an experience really wants one. So she's upset that everybody else has had an experience there except for her. But they also have things happen where the father was known for being very frugal. So in some of the rooms, they put these little dishes. People would leave coins. So now they put little dishes out that people can leave coins in. Some people who've stayed overnight in the parents' bedroom have taken coins home with them. And they later send them back with a note saying, our luck has been terrible ever since we got home. And we think it's because we took these coins. So here, please take them.
What do you think about that? Do you think that's just something that they're creating to find a reason? Because Tom's one of those people that likes to debunk everything. So what do you think, Tom? Do you think that was just?
I mean, yeah, it's probably
something went bad. Oh, it must have been because I took the coins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a letter. There's a framed letter in there of this couple, this older couple who rented the room for the night and didn't leave coins in the dish and went home. And they sent coins to the house asking them to put them in the dish because they think the old man was mad at them because they didn't leave them some money.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, if you're at a haunted location, and which implies already that you have some belief in it to some extent, even if you don't want to say you believe it, you're going to leave and something bad happens or you have some bad luck and you're going to immediately attribute it to that.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's one of those things you just can't determine.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I just so everybody knows, Shan wasn't feeling too good, so he stepped away for the night. But so I'll
feel better, Shan.
Hope he feels better.
Yeah.
He just didn't want to talk about Bigfoot with me.
Yeah, no, he might feel better after the show. I don't know. But yeah, pinching pennies. Yep. Hope she feels better. You're funny, Shelby. So we are at 6:59. We've been on for about an hour. I don't know if anybody had questions or if we wanted to kind of veer off. Now, you didn't talk. Well, did we talk about really anything with apparitions? I know you said the hitchhiker. We were also watching. Oh, that's it on the. Now I don't know how much of the stuff she actually properly researched, but on the in between, she mentioned that there were two. She says they were former police officers. I know one was a former Air Force, and they had been driving, and they had a UFO.
Yeah. Yeah, one of them was a former policeman, and another one was, I think, a local newscaster for one of the or a weatherman or a sports guy.
Yeah,
for
two people connected to the TV or something.
Yeah,
it was a radio TV, KBD something or something like
that.
Yeah. But then someone said that they were driving, and they had actually, and they have the video footage Carol Ann put on her show where they were driving, and there were these two figures that looked like they were alien, extraterrestrial, walking alongside of the road. Of course, it was really quick, but when you saw these, it was kind of like, wow. But then I had to ask myself, and I said to Shan, I go, well, she didn't sound like she was freaking out. It was just like, oh, look, there's a couple of aliens walking on. You know what I mean? I can't quite think. I just can't.
Tom and I have
because she sounded like calm. I would have been like driving, going, "Oh my God!" to their passenger. What the hell is? Look at that! You know what I mean? It was just kind of like, "Oh, look, we're coming up on a couple."
Tom and I have talked about aliens a lot over the years, and I think at one point we both determined that if we suddenly had aliens land in our backyard, we'd probably both shit ourselves and run in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
I have an aunt. I have an aunt and a cousin who actually had a UFO sighting in the town where I grew up back in the 70s that I think was on the news because there were a lot of people who saw it at the same time. And it was just like this saucer-like thing floating in the middle of this field.
Yeah.
Up in the air. And they were driving home from, I don't know, shopping or something. And they saw it. So they pulled over to the side of the road. And all these other people pulled over to the side of the road. And they were all just standing there staring at it. And then it just kind of went away. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen unidentified objects. I'm not going to say they're extraterrestrial, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to think, but yeah, that's like the one thing that scares me.
Yeah.
Oh, and I actually,
why does that scare you?
Aliens scare the hell out of me, but
and yet you're wearing.
I want to believe.
Oh, t-shirts. Oh, I want one.
Sometimes I think they're. Sometimes I think they're us from the future.
Some people say that.
No.
I mean, like I sit here in front of my computer and I've got, my hand on my mouse, and I'm thinking I'm only using 3 fingers on my mouse. So why would I need 5 fingers? So maybe thousands of years in the future, humans have evolved to only have 3 fingers and giant eyes because we're looking at a screen all the time. What use do we have for,
And
possible.
We said I wouldn't doubt that.
I mean, any theory you come up with is just as conceivable. So that's the problem with it. It could be timeline stuff. It could be interdimensional stuff. It could be.
Oh, this person. One time I was outside riding my bike at night, and I thought I saw something that could look like a spaceship, but it could have been a trick of the eye from the street light. My husband and I saw a UFO. And I'll never forget the feeling that went down my spine when we saw it. And we both had that same feeling. It was like shivers down our spine. And we chased it. We're driving like all over, trying to catch up to where this UFO was. Yeah. And when we finally got to where we could see it up close, it was a Fuji blimp. So it's just, but I still will never forget the feeling.
Yeah.
When I first saw it and thought it was a UFO because it sent shivers down my spine and I turned pale. I felt myself turn pale.
And you had that feeling. And then imagine if you were somebody who didn't actually follow it.
Right.
You'd be telling the story that you saw the spaceship and,
it must have been glowing and
it was scared the hell out of me. And I could feel it, the energy. Blah, blah, blah. Like this is, this is how
Shan saw a gray when he was a little kid. So for him, they're very real, including the Bigfoot. So, all right, Beth, thanks for hanging out with us. Yeah, it's 7 o'clock here. It's after 10 for you guys. So wait a minute. What's this? That being said, if you see a little gray alien that have a Starbucks drink, trying to put the kitty in the, that's me from the future. Oh, you're funny. You're funny, my dear. And Isadora says, I still believe I saw one as a child. I saw one too through my brother's telescope. I know I did. But we all have to.
It's one of those things that if you experienced it, if you personally experienced something like this, the thing that I experienced with the bonfire on the opposite shore of the lake, nobody can tell me that didn't happen because I experienced it myself. And I went to the spot where the fire should have been and there was nothing there. And if somebody told me that story, I might not believe it. But because I experienced it myself, I don't know how to. I wasn't a drinker. I still don't drink. I've never, I smoked pot a couple of times when I was young, but I wasn't then. I wasn't high. I wasn't drunk. I was completely sober. Maybe high on making out, but.
So you guys have been friends for 30 years. So did you guys ever meet in person, or has this been an online friendship?
Yeah,
We
we've
met.
met in person. We've met
We
in
have not.
person.
Okay.
We actually hooked up to go to Tarrytown to see whatever that show was.
The Hellier people, Greg and Dana Newkirk.
Yeah, a few years
There
ago.
we go.
We didn't meet for a very long time, but
We
I
did.
have
Yeah.
a friend who lives in Pennsylvania, and so I would drive out to visit her. And I said to him one day, you know, I pass right by where you live, so why don't we hook up the next time I'm on my way out to visit her? And we did. So
We did.
we've met a few times, and yeah.
Yep.
And I
And
never
people
will have come all the
people
way
will
from
say to
here.
me, "Oh, is your husband okay with you having a male friend?" And I was like,
Yeah.
you know,
We've
he
known
doesn't
each other.
care.
Well,
I
Tom's
mean,
got 3 girlfriends outside of, you know. And when I say girlfriends,
All
I
my
don't
sister
mean
wives.
girlfriend,
right,
you know.
right.
But yeah. So, but Isadora has been sharing. She goes, I still believe I saw a UFO as a child,
Me
and she
too.
said that it had made a weird sound. So she's got, you know. So Isadora, if anything else you want to share, you know, please do so. Yeah, for people, you know, Newkirk's again. Tom and I have talked about the Hellier. I don't think I'm saying it right. It's
That's
Hellier
right.
or is it
Hellier. Yep.
Hellier? Because some people Hellier because of the ER, but it's a Hellier, right? Yeah. So I'm waiting for that next one to come out. So hopefully they'll be releasing that soon. But oh my God, the X-Files. They just got together for a thing in San Diego, I think it was one of the Comic Cons or whatever. And oh, I wish I could go to one of those. That would be so cool. See Mulder and Scully. I call Tom the Scully. You know, I'm the Mulder and Tom's the Scully. So
I'm a little bit of both.
I'm a Mulder too, I think.
I'm a little bit of both.
Lisa, I think I remember that because I think the same thing happened to me.
I had the same issue. I had the same thing.
Where I was staying at my grandmother's house because my grandfather was in the hospital, and I was sound asleep, and something woke me up. And when I woke up, I thought it was a bright light or a sudden sound that woke me up because it woke me up suddenly. And then the next day, I read that same newspaper article, probably in the Brockton Enterprise, about a police officer that saw the UFO. So
they mentioned
I
that
think
in that
the same thing.
No, I had a very similar situation, but I was awake at the time, and there was no sound. It was the weirdest thing.
So do share. We've had so many conversations. I don't know if I remember this one.
I don't think I ever brought it up. Yeah.
Well, then bring it up now.
No. No. I was. It was when I was young. I was like.
When I was a young whippersnapper back in the day.
It's probably I was in my teens, I think. Yeah. Because I was on the phone with somebody, and I was laying on the couch, and then bright light came in from the back of my house, just shined in, and this was like late at night. So I don't know. That was, and there was like no sound or anything, so it wasn't like.
And you didn't get up to go check it out?
I don't remember if I did or not.
He can't remember. Memory loss.
I know I didn't. It just something woke me up suddenly.
Yeah.
And I remember laying there and feeling kind of creeped out.
I was creeped out. I remember that.
I think.
Yeah, Sherry, did you share that? I was thinking something. And did you share that about what you did last night with
it wasn't
going out to the light and then finding yourself in the house? Did you share that?
Me?
Yeah, didn't you share that story last night? That you felt like you had been above the bed and then you couldn't.
No.
Who told me that story?
What was it? What was the story?
I thought one of us was telling the story where one of us had oh, this is bizarre now.
I think Heather had now she's having a
somebody was telling. I could have sworn it was last night. Someone had said, oh, that was my neighbor down the street. She I think she had woken one night and she was right up against her there had been a light and she was up
floating on the ceiling.
Her up against the ceiling, And then she says next thing she, at one point she remember falling back to the bed, but there was one, I think she said, where she ended up going outside and seeing this bright light like it was daytime. Yeah, that was our neighbor Crystal, because her and Shan were sharing stories about the light and stuff. And then she said that next thing she knows, as a child, she had waken up and sleeping on the couch in the living room. So there was no recollection from her being a young kid walking out into this light and then waking up. So my bad. I was all these stories lately with all the UFOs and everything. Just trying to. Sometimes it's hard to keep track. So
yeah. I think the only other thing I talked about last night was like a doll jumping off a shelf, and then the thing that sat behind me on the stairs in my first apartment that creeped me out. But
so wait a minute, what's this? Allison's going like this. What did I miss here? That was a truck top turning around in your driveway. Okay, I was like, why is she going hee hee hee? And I'm like, what is going on? And then I see Tom's comment now. Nope. I would have heard it and it wouldn't have been in my house. It didn't have a driveway. So there, debunk that. Oh, you were saying goodbye to Mona. Oh, Mona took off. Okay. Let's see. Next door was gravel.
Yep.
And I would have heard it. This is the city. Houses are right on top. So
yeah, right on top of each other. Yeah. It's it was a weird situation. I don't know what it was. I don't say it's aliens, but could have been.
Oh, she's here. Okay. I'm not saying it was aliens, but Tom. ATV? Flashlight?
What the fuck do you think I live? Some hillbilly shit? No.
See, this is why Allison should have joined us. that would be quite the
Tom, now do you see how it feels to be faced with a skeptic?
Yeah, the funny part though, Sherry, is that Allison she has changed, and I like to think it was partially my doing that she has become a skeptic.
Okay.
I mean, it's one of the reasons.
That's why you're afraid of aliens, Tom? That freaky bright light as a kid?
I mean,
they're not
going to be. They're not going to be good to us. I wouldn't be.
So Tom won't talk about this subject, on a live show. Have to be on in a backstage. But Sherry, what do you think about star seeds and everything? Do you feel that you're connected to any past lives to a star system or a star seed or something? Or is that something you don't talk about either?
I don't really that seems I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth on that.
Why does nobody want these conversations with me on my channel? What do you think about? I want a different perspective. Yeah. This is.
My perspective.
I've looked into some of that stuff, and it just seems too out there for me.
Okay, Allison doesn't believe in star seeds.
Like I have a hard time even believing in horoscopes and some of that stuff. Like I believe in some astronomical stuff as far as the moon affects the tides and periods and stuff like that. And I believe wholeheartedly 150% in Mercury retrograde just because it screws me every single time.
Okay, it's hilarious.
But
Tom's saying, that's something for him to.
As far as
the conversations that we've had, like where it's like she'll be like, like I sent the wrong email, and I'll be like, well,
yeah. And it's usually like I get into an argument with my best friend or something, and we get aggravated with each other, and then I go and look at a calendar, and I'm like, oh, Mercury's retrograde. That's why we're miscommunicating. Or
I mean, it's
oh, my computer died, or whatever.
Yeah, energy affects us. Like we get effects from the sun when they do the when the sun has its ejections and things that has bothered video and satellites. It affects us. We're energy, electromagnetic energy, and with the way the planets and the sun. So yeah, when they change positions and it causes that shift and change in frequencies and vibrations that come hit our planet, I believe that's very.
Yep.
I mean,
it's
a no-brainer.
I think everybody has a need to have. Not sure how I'm trying to explain this. Everybody has things that they research that they believe in. And I think that's healthy. And I think it's healthy to explore all of those things.
Yeah.
Some of it I think is universal. That, you read a horoscope as a Capricorn. I'm a Capricorn, and it tells me, oh, you're going to have a great day. And Tom is a Scorpio, and he'll read his horoscope for the same day, and it pretty much says the same thing. It just uses different words. Oh, you're going to have a wonderful day today, or be careful driving, or whatever. I think those are just universal.
And even if it doesn't say, even if it's not the same message, it's still where our brains are made to find patterns. This is what we do. And you're going to make any association that you can make just by the nature of it. You're reading like something that's supposed to be defining you. You're going to find a pattern.
Right. Yeah. You're going to find meaning in something that everybody can read the same paragraph and find different meaning in it.
Mm-hmm. And Draven says everyone has a framework from which they can explain the world.
Yes, that's it exactly.
And Allison's like, I honestly put the star seeds right along with twin flames. For me, twin flames, no. So they don't give me a start on that one. Whether I'm there, she's going to get an award. Oh, okay. Well, congratulations on your award. And let's see what. Bozy, hi, Bose.
Good Bose.
Hi, baby. And now I'm going all over somebody else's kitty. I wonder if Mozzie's going to come back in here. Hi, Bose. Yeah. Such a handsome boy. Yes. I'm sorry. I'm cat and animal. I'm just like, So Allison says, I absolutely believe in astrology, but horoscopes, that's just entertainment, and it's not even meant to be genuine, really. You've got out OT, something placements and planets and phases and everything else. So yeah, you got a lot of, so just reading one placement is not going to give you any sort of accurate information. No.
Well, I mean, like part of the problem also is like people can't even like agree on what system to use. So like, that's a whole other issue. But
Isadora, horoscopes are general ideas, just like fortune cookies.
Yeah.
Yes. And some people believe the fortune cookies actually do, tell them their fortune.
And the only work rewards that are worth it come from with a pay increase. Oh, they're talking with Mona. I'm sorry. I was like, huh? But okay. Allison, word salad. That's fine. You want to follow a really good astrologer. I love Pam Gregory. I hear a lot about, even from some of the women here in town that I've met when I took an astrology class workshop. A lot of people do speak highly of Pam Gregory. So at some point, I'm going to have to check her out. And,
well, I mean, honestly, like even somebody like Michelle Marie, I think is really, really talented.
Yes.
And,
our Michelle.
I don't. It's not a belief system that it's not a belief system, but a system that I necessarily agree with or follow or anything. But I don't know. I've been doing a Deccan walk this year for the first year, and it's kind of crazy how the astrology does align. The astrology and the tarot and everything kind of does align with life stuff. It's very interesting. But again, I'm made to make patterns. So it's all pattern recognition, though.
Oh, I got a bug crawling on my wall. Hey. Anyway, sorry. We have these little bugs here that they're harmless. when they fly and their wings open, they have like a red back to them, and obviously one made their way into my place today. So it's like squirrel, bug. Let's see. Allison says, yes, there are some extremely good astrologers out there. It's a true science. And if you've got it dialed in, it's amazing how good the information can be. Yeah.
I mean, to me though, this is the argument that I would make for it. It's no different than somebody who's reading tarot or I Ching or something, anything like that. I mean, like, I think I don't know if it's so much the system that it's you that's helping that message along, like I still think it's an internal thing, or it's a thing that the person who's doing it is doing. I don't think it matters what tool you're using.
So with astrology, it's internally you doing it and not the plant.
Well, I mean, you're still interpreting something. You're still. I know that there's like this, but you're still taking those things that you're finding out, and you're still making an interpretation based on that to describe something or explain something. So I don't know, but it also, I mean, it depends on what you're also doing with it. I mean, horoscopes are much more predictive and all that kind of thing, and I don't know if that's necessarily what we're talking about. But I feel like I feel like there's an argument against it, or not against it, because I think it's valid. I think it's just that it's just as valid as anything else, though.
I've heard some people refer to readings too as prescriptive and not predictive. Prescriptive, but not predictive. So you can pull cards, see where energy is, and it'll recommend this or that. But in the long run, it's going to be whatever you choose and cause and effect.
Like cognitive bias.
Yeah.
You're applying your own
bias. What is that?
Cognitive bias is like in the political world. It's if you're a right winger, you go online, you're going to surround yourself with with right wing leaning things. You're going to look for that stuff. So so your view is going to be skewed in that direction.
Yeah.
But so cognitive bias is just you're applying your own inner beliefs and your own emotional beliefs and your own spiritual beliefs to what it is that you're interpreting. That's what I think.
Yeah, this week has been a long week with trying to learn stuff and keep especially in front of a computer screen or laptop screen all week. But
I think it's why some tools work for some people and not for others.
Yeah.
So when it comes to, exactly. Like, I mean, if you think about any religion, any system of magic, any system of it's working for somebody. Prayer within that religion is working for somebody, and I mean, I think it's less likely that they're all right, or that we're just assigning aspects to the same thing.
Right. But we're all doing the same thing. Like, what's the difference between saying a prayer and making a wish on a birthday cake?
Yeah. And spell work.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But don't dare tell somebody.
Yeah, don't tell a highly religious person that when they blow out a birthday candle and make a wish, they're casting a spell.
I mean, you could just expect the backlash. But no, that being said, I do like the idea of using, learning astrology in the sense of as something to help inform your work in other aspects.
And a lot of ancient civilizations has used astrology, astronomy for centuries to map, their temples, map the stars.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a tangible system.
I mean, if the moon can affect the tides of an entire planet and the menstrual cycles of every single woman on that planet, it's not surprising. It's not outlandish to think that the other planets in the solar system also have some effect on our planet and our bodies and our minds and whatever.
Men and women. That's where the term lunacy, kind of comes from. And I'm like, but I full moons now bother me. So
you know what I learned today?
I love
Speaking of the moon, the diameter of the moon is smaller than the diameter of Australia. And for some reason that blew my mind.
Wow. So the moon is smaller than
Australia.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? If
it's like a little marble.
If you measure it, well, unless it's flat,
like the Earth.
And hollow.
Yeah, like the Earth.
Some people still say that there's some sort of ringing and stuff that takes place within the moon after they did that one experiment. So there may very well be cavernous areas or a hollow area, like some people believe with the Earth as well. I mean,
there could be.
We know less about our own planet, and we're trying to go out there and go to other planets and stuff and do all this nonsense, and we don't even know our oceans, and what's really internal with our planet.
But it's a lot easier to go to space than it is to go to the depths of the ocean. So
but we should finally nail down Bigfoot before we start looking for Martians.
Should. I don't know.
Well, Shan had his experience and he's seen one physically. So he's like, nope, they're real. I mean, he knows what he saw. It was not a bear. As a popular saying goes. He said, yeah, and I know he's a little upset about that new documentaries coming out where they try to claim that the Patterson film was but he won't believe it. He says that something doesn't add up right to him because he was friends with the kids, the father's kid, who's
also saying that it's fake. So that's part of the problem.
Yeah,
but nobody. We have to see the documentary because I don't know. But again, it doesn't matter. Just because the PG film is potentially fake doesn't mean that Bigfoot isn't real. So
wow, 3 sightings of Bigfoot.
Yeah.
I think enough. I think there've been enough experiences a large enough number of experiences and sightings for it to not be just blown off.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, there's people have enough experiences.
There's something. There's something.
Oh yeah, 100%.
He's arguing that the costumes and stuff were for dramatization, where if they didn't see, they actually didn't record anything, that they could use that as a dramatization, and that's where.
But why would you do that?
The costume, because suddenly he's feels
better. I'm waiting to see the documentary. That's it. That's personally where my.
So you want to share your thoughts with Tom about the Gimlin? He says it's fake.
I know. I didn't say that. I didn't say it's fake. I said the reports from the documentary say that it is. I haven't seen the documentary. Once I see the documentary, then I'll make some assumptions. But
I haven't seen it either. But from what I understand, they're just basing that it's fake because they had a safe with a costume in it.
No. It's footage. It's footage that was found in the safe of the person who developed the footage for them originally. Yep. That's what it is, and it's footage from a test run of the PG film from like 6 months prior or something.
Right.
So of somebody else in the same costume, but it's somebody else in it.
Right. It's actually that dude that they hired to wear it. But here's the thing.
That guy who supposedly is in it is somebody else that's in it in this new footage, or newly unearthed footage. A lot of people are giving wrong information online. It's very weird. I don't know.
How can you? You lost me.
Okay.
Let him explain.
Oh.
What was that? The footage is.
So, if I remember correctly, and I could be getting some slight things here wrong, but if I think it was the person who developed the film, because it was shot on like a 8mm or 16mm, I can't remember. The person who developed that film for them had another reel of film footage that was from either the year prior or like 6 months prior. They know the date based on the markings on the film that you get during the development process. And it's footage of a test run of them all there, except it's not what's his name? Oh God, I forgot the guy's name. The guy who's allegedly in the costume in the PG film,
Right.
allegedly.
Right.
He's not there. It's somebody else that's in the costume. The costume was burned. The costume doesn't exist. But if it ever existed, I'm trying to be fair because I don't know until I see it for myself. I'm not gonna, trust either way. But so it's footage that was found, and supposedly, like when they've shown it to the people associated with it, then they've started to come clean about it. But they've also backtracked a little bit since then too. So I don't know. We need to see the documentary. That's it.
Because he was friends with the kids, with the kid. But
I used to wrestle with him in school.
Yeah, but I mean, the kid wouldn't necessarily know either. Like he wouldn't know at the time, but supposedly, like the mother has said, or stepmother, I guess, whatever she is, would have said over time that. But they also made a lot of money from this over the years.
Well, they could very well make money by saying it's false, too.
I don't know if they're getting money for any of this. I mean,
okay,
all the licensing rights are going to go away. So
right.
If they
but they could be. Well, that depends. If they want to protect the species, then they could lie and make money off of that too.
But that being said, it doesn't matter to me. Ultimately, like I was saying, I think before you were here, like the PG film, if that ends up not being real, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah, but it's going to.
Right.
Oh,
because
it's really shitty. If it is a hoax, it really number one, it's the best hoax ever. Like that's great in that sense, but it's terrible that people are doing that because then it's like it does take everything back.
Yeah.
Which is terrible.
It's the most well-known example of a sighting.
The clearest.
But even if it was debunked, there's
it doesn't mean it's not real. Yeah.
Enough sightings over the years that there's definitely something to it.
It's just a good hoax. That film is a good hoax. But here's my theory and scenario. That film is real. If you look at it, you could see the ripples of the muscle and the tissue and things of a natural being.
I agree. That's what you say. But then there's other people that'll look at that same footage and point out how they can see like seams and weird fabric folds. So I agree. I'm so like, I don't know like what it is. Cause
but
that's your problem.
It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy that film came out so many years before CGI, because if somebody wants to do a hoax now,
now
there's no
way. There's no way you could tell if it's fake or real now.
Well, they're saying that it's so well
go make one right now in 5 minutes. Yeah,
they can't make a costume that well even now. They have to use.
I don't know about that.
I don't think so. No, look at the Lord of the Rings. Could you imagine what they could do with a big? I mean, look what they did to this guy. I mean, the people on Lord, but the makeup and everything, the prosthetics.
But not even that. I mean, most of that was all also camera tricks in Lord of the Rings too. They did a lot of
Well, we had the thing where they showed how they glue the stuff and how they. I mean, poor Gimli. That's why his eyes were all shut, because he had a reaction to the glues and the prosthetics and So they want to do a real.
Okay, picture this.
Okay.
They had the costume in a safe to keep it safe because they did pay someone to make it for them, but they were going to use the costume for a documentary that they were going to do on Bigfoot that they were going to release and make money on. And
I agree. But it's supposedly it's like the same exact look. It's the same.
No, it's not. They showed. I saw the.
You haven't seen it. It. Nobody's released it. If anything you're seeing is fake. Until you see the documentary. Wait until the documentary, because
that's what I tell them. Sometimes you don't know.
You have to be careful. They have not released anything.
Because he's been on TV so much watching the stuff, especially
there's people putting fake stuff out there. There's a lot of money in this right now for a lot of people that like they don't want to lose their money.
Right.
So there's a lot of long-term Bigfoot people are upset. But
Clint was a jokester. Clint Patterson was a jokester.
Well, he would have been too young anyway to really be part of it, though. Like, right? Like he wouldn't have been like part of like the actual hoax.
Your buddy.
Right. He was just a young toddler then. Yeah.
Yeah.
He did have a big sister. She cut my hair for me when I was wrestling in high school. But but he just said, "Do you think it's real?" And I asked him if I could see, if he had the film of it, and he said no. And I think he said that it was stolen or something like that. So evidently, I guess from what the movie said or from what I saw on TV, the film was given to somebody to process at a lab, at a movie lab, at a test. How do I say it? A test lab for at the aeronautics place or something like that, and the guy did it on his own time, kind of under the radar, so he wouldn't get in trouble for it. But the original film had an identification mark in the top left corner. It was just a white spot that showed that it was a Kodak 8mm or 16mm wind-up camera. And that's another thing too. All these fuzzy pictures that they're taking of them. Yeah. It's because it's electronic. The wind-up camera wasn't electronic. So that was probably why he got such a clear picture. And there was no zoom on the lens because they hadn't made the zoom lens yet.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm waiting to see the documentary. I'm like very excited to see it. But I think, I'm hoping that it's supposedly from the few people, because only a few people have seen it, but supposedly from the few people that have seen it, it sounds pretty convincing. So, but again, I'm waiting to see. But I mean, there was enough question about it before that too. I mean, and I think, unfortunately, I do think that people who want to believe it are still going to believe it, and it is what it is. But I think it's going to, unfortunately, with it being such a big hoax, I think it's going to just taint anything going forward, which is really a problem.
Allison kind of agrees with you. I don't think there's anything physically there to capture. It's another dimension that we talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very possibly that. I mean, that would explain why there's no physical evidence.
You want to talk about your orbs?
Yeah. Well, okay. The deal about the triangle, right? Maybe it's because the manifestations take place there because of the ley lines and the energy that's there. So you see UFOs and orbs and these creatures because they're manifestations of the electromagnetic field of the ley lines and the interaction with the environment.
I mean, I think this is the conversation that we were having. Actually, I think that actually brought up the Bridgewater Triangle in the first place.
I think so.
Generally, there is like a lot of overlap when you have UFO flaps that are happening where there's a lot of sightings. There's also usually a lot of Bigfoot flaps in the same area or at the same time. So and a lot of other cryptid stuff and a lot of other
they disappear where a UFO shows up.
Yeah, so I mean,
but they're real enough because the government, our military, there was a group. We haven't seen anything released by them. It was Ben Hansen, and he had a female doctor who was regular zoologist or something.
I wouldn't take anything that Ben Hansen says.
I will be right back. I need a potty break.
Okay. So then that whole series he did when he got those people together and they started doing the filming in Washington and stuff. I mean, they showed when they were recording, a person that came up to their vehicle and said that, no, the military here,
Yeah.
they do their things. They're told you will see them. Yes, they are real, but you are not to engage. We know they exist. You leave them alone. So do you think that was fake by Ben?
I don't know.
So why do you not like Ben Hansen? Because he seems to like to debunk stuff.
He's been on
The FBI.
he's been on like 5 different like paranormal shows,
So maybe because he's
making money.
knowledgeable.
Once he goes into the TV show thing, it gets questionable for me. Like,
And Tom used to do his own show then. So then,
no, I don't. No.
Well,
Nobody wants to see that. But no, I mean, I would just take just because somebody's on TV doesn't mean they're an expert, and just because they say they're an expert doesn't mean they're an expert. I'm just saying, use discernment, take everything. What happened?
No, what is your criteria for somebody?
I don't know. I mean, it's gonna vary depending. It's gonna vary depending on the situation. Because I'm not gonna say like just because somebody's law enforcement that I'm gonna trust their opinion more than somebody else's, because there's good cops, there's bad cops,
their power of observation is probably a little bit higher than an average person sometimes.
It should be. But there's also plenty of instances where it's not. So
I mean, have you ever seen a show that Ben's been in where you know that he faked something or
No.
That's why I'm saying he may actually be like Michelle Belanger. Well, we can't call her Michelle Belanger anymore. It's M. Belanger now. She's a he now.
The FBI.
So I mean, she's been on shows. I'm still gonna say she for now. Has been on shows, and her abilities are pretty much. She's reputable. Amy Allen, Cindy Kaza. So why not Ben? He's been on shows, but
I mean, I'd make the same argument for. I would make the same argument for them too. I know you're fans, but I'm not really. So,
I'm just saying though, he may be on a lot of these shows because he has done debunking, he has done research, he has gone out and done research investigations. Has been out there.
Yeah,
we were even filming when the smoke and the fires were breaking out that one year really bad in Washington. And so for me, it just seems like he doesn't, I mean, I don't see anything that would lead to, or anyone saying that he would fake something.
I agree. And like, I would argue that like, if you wanted like saying that we were just talking about this yesterday. I mean, I would make the argument that, like the ghost hunters were originally very trustworthy. But like you see where that ended up, like I mean, so
that was in Buffalo too.
It's just when you have like corporations involved and companies involved in this, it just makes it questionable for me.
Allison.
But also, there's enough like there's benefit in all that. Well, there's benefit to having misinformation out there as well, too, and that misinformation.
Well, look at Doty. Talk about misinformation and mucking up the waters with the UFO community.
Yeah, I mean, everybody. I mean, look at like so many people like that. That are questionable, and like Lou Elizondo and Bob Lazar and all the UFO people.
Oh, yeah. Doty. So, that was part of that whole group too. Yeah.
I mean, just everybody's questionable, but there's known like misinformation campaigns that were out there. So like,
well, the more misinformation that's out there, the harder it is to confirm something that's true.
Yeah.
So it's a benefit. So
I mean, we all know the government never lies.
No.
About anything ever.
No, why would they? There's no reason to.
Yeah. But I don't know. We watched a couple seasons of that team that Ben put together. One woman would not believe anything. Every time they would
there's always a like shows. That's all. They're all archetypes. They're all literally the same archetype on every show. I mean, there's always going to be a skeptic. There's always going to be
But if you don't have them, you're going to have people saying, "Well, everyone's going to agree." Of course, so there is not going to be any difference of opinion. That's why they chose her to put her in there to be like to present the other thing where she's like, "No, I don't think," so that people didn't automatically, think everyone was on the same page. I mean, there are some groups like Bobo. Remember Bobo and his guys that did the with the Bigfoot.
Finding Bigfoot, honestly, like I like most of the Finding Bigfoot people. They're true believers. They're very like whatever. But
what about Les Stroud?
The
famous dude. I think was it Les or another one of those guys that was part of Ben's team because they knew how to track. They knew the smell. They knew how to track.
Is that the guy who had the dongle of the Bigfoot on his backpack?
I don't know.
Well,
wait a minute, Tom, you're a fan of Bobo? Really?
No, I'm not really a fan of Bobo necessarily. I like Cliff.
Huh? He's a fanboy.
Cliff seems like, but Cliff has a great. He's doing a good job in the sense of like, keeping all the records of things. Like he's got the museum up there, right by you, actually. So
Cliff
and Boring, the Bigfoot.
Okay.
Cliff Barrickman runs that.
We'll have to see if we can find one. And when we actually talking to
North American Bigfoot Center, I think it's called.
The one up in Northern Oregon by Columbia.
It's in Boring. I don't know.
Yeah, the Dalles.
It's in Boring, Oregon.
That's the name of the town. I don't know.
Yeah, around Dalles.
Awful.
The Dalles.
The Dalles.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were talking to Crystal about that the other day. That she didn't realize that people had seen. Had Bigfoot sightings around here. And she's like, what? And I said, yeah, we were watching some videos, and some people have had experiences in and around here. So every time I go out shopping or I go for a walk in the morning, I look up into the mountains and at the trees, just going, I wonder if I'm ever going to see something move one of these days where I'm like, what the, that would be cool. That would be really cool.
There's Bigfoot sightings everywhere. That's the crazy thing. But I don't know. I mean, like Allison says, you have to consider it all entertainment. Like if you're looking at stuff on TV, like it's entertainment. It's set up in a way to keep you engaged and to keep you coming back, because that's the whole point. That's why they hire very certain people that fill specific roles that are going to. It's it's like boy bands. You're going to find the cute one, the muscular one. It's just their thing. Their products do sell. It is what it is.
Well, that's because never mind. I'm not gonna. Because I want it that way. Anyway, I told you I love my boyfriends. My boys, my BSB. So there was what is the shows that you've been watching? Something in beauty, and it's people who come Flash of Beauty on YouTube, right? Or where people give their accounts, the experiences that they've had with Bigfoots, and it's not like a regular like TV thing. It's just I don't know.
It's like a sit down talk with somebody, and they just tell their story about their experiences
in different areas around the country and sometimes in the world. Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like, I mean, I think everybody's had experiences. I don't necessarily discredit that anybody had those experiences. Was Bigfoot? Who knows? But then, even if it was, you come to the question of what is it? Like ultimately, that's the thing that I would love to know that. But
what is
if we ever will? Yeah, I mean,
but they have Bigfoot sightings in the Bridgewater. That's what we heard. But we heard a lot of stories. So she didn't mention too many. Is it a lot, or is it just rare?
Bigfoot sightings. I don't know a whole lot about Bigfoot, but I know that the triangle.
I mean, it's
has
definitely part of
almost
the jungle,
everything,
yeah.
like puckwudgies and Bigfoots and thunderbirds and giant snakes.
Oh
Yep, the
God.
snakes. I was gonna.
And I
was
know
gonna-
they have like sinkholes sinkholes. I know when I was growing up, there was in the town that I live in, there was a farm that had hay rides, and they had big draft horses that would pull these hay rides every fall, and they had
Halloween.
horses that would go out into the field and go into this big pool of water and somehow fall in there, and nobody could ever find them, and they'd drop like sinkers down and they could never find the bottom of these sinkholes. So it's like there were expeditions that would go into the big deep part of the swamp, and some people would never come back. But I mean, what I was going to say about as to the Bigfoot being like seen all over the country, there's so many areas of our country that probably a person has never set foot on. You know, like Heather was saying earlier about we haven't even explored the whole depths of our oceans yet. Why are we going to other planets? There's parts of our land that have never been explored.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, the
So
ocean thing
who
is
knows
like
what's out? Who knows what's out in the middle of nowhere? I mean, look at the Unabomber. How long was he hiding out in the woods and nobody knew where he was, you know?
Yeah.
That's true.
You know? So there could be these people or creatures that live in the middle of nowhere, and they just rarely come out to where people live, but otherwise they stay secluded, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think the bigger issue with Bigfoot is the fact that there is no physical, like, remains. There's no things like that. But again, you can get into the whole interdimensionality thing, and that could explain it. But I agree. I mean, I agree. There's so much uncharted territory that.
There was a case I read on, I think it was by myself. I don't know if I had someone, this is on my old channel. There was a young woman that went missing. It was during shutdown. She had the purple hair. I cannot think of her name right now. I think this was in California. And she ended up disappearing. And at one point, this was like, I think 6 months or so after she disappeared, or maybe a year. Her name was Sarah, I think. She had purple hair. And they were out ATVing with their son. They had stopped, the father had stopped for a picnic, and the boy started freaking out, saying, well, there's a woman over there. She needs my help. And they kept turning around looking, going, what woman? And they're saying she's laying over there. She's laying down. She's face down on the ground. She says she needs our help. And they're starting to really freak out when this little boy described the woman. They were like, oh my God, it's this woman that's been missing. And they still haven't found her yet. And they have been through the woods left, and right. And they can't find her anywhere, but now her spirit is showing up. I don't know what made me want to bring that up. I don't know if it's because of, being able to hide in the woods, like with the Unabomber and stuff. And yet, they still haven't been able to find this woman. And, but yeah, her spirit's out there, at times trying to alert people. I mean, a little boy. So I can't remember her name. It was Sarah, I think, something, but yeah, that's weird that she popped up. Who knows? Maybe she's going to be found. But that's when I would do my investigations on my channel. She was the one that went missing, and it had a paranormal aspect to it because, people had seen her and reported, and her just kind of like staring off and not being able to get her attention. So it was like her spirit kept trying to let people know she was there, but wherever they would go there to look for her, they couldn't find, bodies or remains. So that's interesting. I don't know how that came up, but anywho. So we are
look at the number of species that were thought to be extinct, and all of a sudden somebody will find one. Yeah.
Tasmanian devil, I think, is one of them they thought was extinct. Yeah. And some will think that they got a picture of it some years ago. So yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, no, I mean, there's a lot, and like when you with the missing people stuff. I mean, you can get into the whole missing 411 stuff that's out there,
boy,
but like
he
that's
keeps
a bunch.
watching what Politis said. I'm like, oh
Yeah,
no.
again, another person you gotta take with a grain of salt because there's a lot of misinformation.
He has misled and rewritten things to fit his narrative and stuff. And I keep telling Shan, he's like, well, I'm watching.
Yeah, you gotta do research.
I don't want to watch it.
He's saying the Bigfoot's parent is multidimensional too.
Yeah, broken clock is right twice a day too. But like
I love that stuff.
No, he has left out like information and stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. If you do some looking on like Reddit and stuff, and you can find some stuff on. I think he meant well, but he really. I think it became a cash cow for him, and maybe he's.
Yeah.
I think I'm not even saying he's intentionally doing stuff, but I feel like there's just like.
Yeah. Oh, it's been proven.
Yeah.
Especially on Lore Lodge. We haven't watched them in a while, but they did an episode on him and how they kind of broke down how, well, he says this, and then one person said, well, that's not what I said. This is what I said, but he decided to use that. And then he was saying, well, this story was this story, but yet it was associated with something else. I mean, it was like piecing things from and then misquoting and
and he'll say like things like, oh, their body was never found or whatever, and then that's not true. There has been like things like that.
Yeah, so kind of got to watch out for him as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's just it's a lot of bad information out there, and you got to just like, I don't know, you got to be really discerning.
That's what I tell him. Yeah, I see something, I'm like, well. I think Tom's rubbing off on me, but no, I've always been one to debunk. Like Allison, I sent, Sherry got the picture that I took last summer that I've been trying to debunk with that thing that looks like a figure that you think it's a tree with just some color reflected off of it from somewhere. Sherry got a look at that photograph, and she thinks there's possibly something to that not being a tree and possibly being, whether it's an apparition, a snapshot or something. How did you explain, Sherry? It was just kind of like something like a time where something crossed, where it was that like residual.
Yeah. It does not look like a tree.
So
look like a fuzzy brown something.
No, stop it. But no, it was brown. It had pink on and everything. But I'm planning on going now that the weather's getting warmer again. When we go down to Lithia Park, I'm going to take stops over there and take pictures around the area so I can do a composite.
Try talking to it too.
I think I might have tried. Well, I couldn't bring.
I think you tried reading. You tried cards. I think I
can't here. I think I might. I don't know if I did here, but I know being there, I couldn't take cards because there were just too many people around for me to be able to do it. And that was like a busy area because it's right by the clamshell where people perform and things and stuff. And no, it wasn't a Bigfoot, Alice. Unless the female Bigfoot was wearing something that was nice and pink and had a nice little drape to it.
But we do have bear. We had a sign on the garbage can at the park one day that said we've had bears around.
But this was not a bear.
Yeah. Don't leave your garbage.
Yeah. So
well, now that we're mentioning a dress, it made me think of that. I had this pop up on my one of my social media, maybe my Reddit feed, of that blue and black. Is this dress blue and black?
Oh my God, yeah.
Black and white, or black and gold, or blue and white. So that right there shows you the difference of perception between different people. Because every time I've seen that picture of that dress, to me, it's black and blue.
Yeah.
I don't see white and gold anywhere in that picture.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And that's my perception, but a lot of people see the opposite, the black and gold.
So that's going to be my little summer project, especially it was July 6th of last year that I took that picture and at the time. So I plan
maybe go back on the same day.
Yeah.
And the same time of day.
Yeah, look at your metadata and see what time it was.
And take a picture and see. Because I said, Tom, I don't have the pictures anymore, but I was telling Tom I was taking pictures all around a couple times that day and just kind of finding the right picture to do some artwork. And I was like, wait a minute, what's this? And then I started looking at the other images that I took just at the same time. I'm like, that's not in any of the other ones. And then, where it was supposed to be a drop off into Lithia's, the stream. And so it was a drop off. So I'm like, okay, I want to get Tom, because he's the skeptic. He's the debunker. And I asked him, I'm trying to debunk this. Can you help me? And he's kind of like, I don't know.
The only thing that I can say about it that I think could potentially be is that it's somehow a piece of fabric or something like a scarf.
But there wasn't. I got up and I know that
you didn't see it, but that would be the only thing. But you took pictures around it, and it wouldn't, so like
it was taken with your cell phone, right?
Yeah.
There it is. I know it's kind of hard to see because of the light, but
yeah,
people remember.
Like years ago, if it was taken with a film camera, you could say, oh, maybe it was some kind of double
exposure.
Yeah.
Or a remnant of something on the film or a glitch on the film. But it's harder with cell phones to.
I mean, it could be some kind of lens flare, but that would.
Yeah, that didn't look like a lens flare.
No, exactly. So
I'm going to do my due diligence, and I'm going to go and if I happen to take a picture and it shows up the same, and it looks, I'll be like, okay, Allison was right. This is a true.
Is that near your house?
It's Lithia. What is this?
I don't know how to get that off.
Oh, what did you do to my picture? Oh, shoot.
I just touched it. And it did
Hold on a second. Discard changes.
Oh, no.
Okay, so this is at Lithia Park. This is what only, depending on traffic, about.
Shan's trying to hide the evidence.
So.
And how long ago did you take the picture?
It was a year ago on July 6th, so I'm going to be.
Oh, all right. So there hasn't been a leap year. So, yeah, I would go back on July 6th.
Yeah, take pictures. Yep. And I may even do a video too, and you never know. Ask.
Yeah.
Enough. But the thing is at that time of year, the creek is going pretty good because we have the snow from Mount Ashland coming down and through there. Though we didn't have much snow this year, but still, it'll probably be good. So it'll be kind of hard to maybe record and listen for anything, any EVPs or sounds or something. But no, I'm going to do my due diligence. I'm going to go be back there and. I'm going to be taking pictures that day. So wait, why are you going back 1 year later? So I can try to recreate the picture, Allison. So at that exact same time, I'm going to
maybe it's a residual haunting, Allison, and we need to see if it comes back at the same time.
I don't know. I see a stump there.
Bug off. Anyway, we go there regularly, so we'll probably, when the weather gets
nice. I don't know. And Shan sees everything. Shan's got grays. He's seen Bigfoot.
Orbs.
And
house.
I haven't seen a UFO yet.
But you saw gray.
Yeah, but you got a gray. So,
So,
but he's not seeing anything there.
I'm going to make a little pit stop before we go to our new favorite spot. And I'm just going to start documenting. Different days, different times around, and see if I can recreate that. And if I can, then I'll come right on and say, hey, everybody, doing a pop-up, got some updated information, and I'll share my findings. So, yes, got to make sure you can debunk first. But I still think that's a pretty cool picture one way or the other. So,
yep, I think it is.
I think it's an interesting one, definitely. I think there's something.
Send it to Zach. What do you think?
God.
I'm kind of wondering about that.
Or
about the UFOs. What if the beings inside are, they like on knowing the light beings? They're light at the end of it with Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, I mean,
remember that?
Yeah, I mean, they could be any. I mean,
but maybe they're.
Do they exist? Could it be anything?
Well, I was just thinking maybe they are the orbs, and they just drop. They stay here or they go. That's just their transportation.
That's very possible.
You
Why
know?
not?
Well,
Yeah.
people are
they
dropping
just-
like flies in chat. I'm looking at my chat. I'm like, oh wow, we started out with 13. Oh, okay, now we're on to 3. I know it's getting late. How you guys?
Well, we also
doing?
went into crazy,
Well,
we were in Bridgewater Triangle, is very confined, very simple, and then we went into the whole. We ran the gamut.
Except for the dog men.
But they said there is no
We
dog
didn't-
man. They said that.
The lady,
Who's this they? Who's they?
Larry, no,
Well,
Larry. Carrie Ann on the in between said that there were no reports of dog men as far as she
but
knows there.
black
Oh,
dog like figures
Large
that was
dogs,
scared.
giant dogs.
Yeah, but no actual reports that she found of dog man. Sherry, do you know if there's any reports of dog man or just the dark black dogs?
I think just the big black dogs.
Yeah, what I did see on the, I did
Let
see
her talk too.
Oh, but there was a map with a triangle on it, and to the right, just east of the triangle, is the land between the lakes, and we watched the story about the dog man there, outside of the triangle. So I thought,
So it might
why
be a
couldn't he
bleed
be
through.
in the triangle?
Possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know there's so many things that are seen in the Bridgewater Triangle that I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh,
Let me check.
There was no fabric there, Allison. I was just taking pictures of a tree for, I did see a piece of fabric. It was all the way on the other side near the bottom of the creek, far from the tree that someone threw off and tossed down there. But
Dogman. Yep, there are reports of Dogman in the Bridgewater Triangle.
So
okay.
she didn't
shame
thoroughly
on her.
investigate her.
Yeah.
She's slipping.
Well, I don't know everything about it. I only know what I've experienced and the stories that I've heard personally or read about.
And it's been cool. Thanks for coming on and sharing all that with us.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah,
I agree with what Allison is saying.
Sherry. Huh?
I agree with what Allison is saying. I mean, it definitely to me has a very sheer.
Yeah, but there was no dress there. There was no clothes there.
No, I know. I'm not saying that that's what it definitely is. I'm just saying, to me, if there's any explanation, that would be what it could potentially be. Otherwise, I don't know what else it could be.
If it's a spiritual being or something wearing a dress, or if it's a fragment of a memory from Victorian times wearing a dress, then it would look like fabric, right?
Yeah.
But there was no fabric, because I would have seen that and said, oh no, because I try to, where we're in an area, I try to clean up if I see stuff around. So, because sometimes people do drop garbage and whatnot, and that I definitely would have seen that and been like, no, that don't belong here. And, I know it because it was directly, because all I have, you can see all the other pictures.
I agree.
A multitude of them. Yeah.
I agree with what you're saying. Just know that their eyes are not 100% fact of what you're seeing. So
this was literally no more than
shut up, Tom.
There are proven studies that we miss like so much information of what we're seeing if it's not something that you're looking for. So what is the I brought it up on here before. What is it? The gorilla study.
No. Tom doesn't see. I'm sorry, but
the invisible gorilla. Look up stuff on the invisible gorilla, and you'll understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I remember the invisible gorilla video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying, Allison. Yeah.
Oh, the selective seeing.
Yeah.
There's a gorilla in the room, and you walk in, you're not looking for it, so you don't see it.
Exactly.
Right.
But when it comes to that,
when she took that picture and saw it, and then went and looked at that tree.
Well, when did you see? But when did you see the picture? When did you notice something in the picture? I think it was later. It wasn't while you were there.
It was later, but I was going through because I was directly right there, and I sent to you. I took like 3 or 4 pictures of that tree, trying to find what I wanted to use as a art reference. And so boom, and when I took the picture, I know that I hadn't physically seen that.
Yeah.
And so when I got home and was trying to choose, I flipped it through. Well, do I want this? And then all of a sudden I was like, wait a minute, what the hell is that? I mean, it was almost like succinct. You know, like when they do the investigations, how they take multiple pictures.
Yeah.
That's what I did with that. This was just within snap here, okay, snap here, snap. So it wasn't like I took a snap, a couple hours later, come back. I'm just going to take, another. No, it was within,
sequential
certain time frame.
Yeah, but
So
let's just say that you took a picture while something was falling. You didn't even notice that something was falling. Took a picture. It's possible. That's all I'm saying. But I'm still saying it is an anomaly. It is weird.
Yeah.
Regardless. So.
That's why as soon as I saw that, I was like, no, I don't know if I saw that. No, I did see that. I come across, I can't remember because I don't know if I was at the park and said, shit, I don't have reception. I got to send this to Tom, or if that was after we.
No, you had sent it to me after. I think you had sent it to Allison. So I don't know. And so I think it was later on. In the day.
Probably had it been later on. Yeah.
But I don't know when you might have sent it to Allison from there. I don't know.
Okay. But I'll keep everybody in the loop. I'll take some pictures and start documenting.
I think it's definitely worth checking again.
Yeah.
It's definitely interesting.
I'll be like, yay, my one little piece of possible paranormal, And that's it. That's my career. If that is, I'll have my little bit of excitement. So there you go.
And then I'll make a documentary on it in 50 years from now and say how it's a hoax. And then
it was me. I was behind the tree.
Heather was, hanging a piece of fabric. She adjusted the wire.
Now I know you're going back, so I'll go back and hide behind that same tree.
There you go.
Ah! So,
Time machine.
Well, we kind of got to get going. I know it's after 11 o'clock. We've got like 3 people up, but hey, that was a great. Thanks everybody for hanging around. I don't know who's still here. I know
it's just Allison
here.
It's just Allison, me, and Sherry.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe Isadora might still be here. Irene. I didn't see them say goodbye. But it was
like, let these people go.
But it's fun. I enjoy these shows. I love.
I think it's interesting topics. Yeah, it's interesting topics to talk about. And
maybe I can get another one for next month. Something comes up. It's just me and Scout. Hi, Scout. Sherry, Scout is Allison's little doggy. He's adorable. And Isadora, she's here. So I always ask, I know better than I ask Tom, what he's got going, because he doesn't have anything. But if you just say subscribe to Tom on Instagram and or YouTube,
maybe you'll see something at some point.
When he finishes doing something or decides to do something, you can to catch that. And Sherry, no channel, right?
No, I mean I do, but I don't really post
anything
on it.
Yeah. I do have something coming up.
Where's my pearls?
I think I'm on Gerald's channel on Sunday. I think we're doing our part 2 on Terra Volta, I think.
Oh, I can't watch that. No, because it's bad enough I want that deck. Yeah. And I just can't.
I think I have to double check on the time, but I think it's.
That's the one that we saw Simon with the never mind. Shan's watched so many with him. He's just like
he just zones it out. He's just like, more tarot decks. All right.
When I saw Nancy, when I talked to Nancy this week, she was like, "So did you get any more new decks?" No. When was the last one you got? I was like, I think my Seasons of the Witch for my Ostara. I go, I really haven't, gotten anything, So I'm kind of getting a little bit more into my art again. So I'm spending a little extra. I'm trying to slowly build everything.
My latest.
What is that?
Hexen 5.0. I don't know. I'm not.
Oh, wait a minute. It looks like a phallus.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
With the 2 bushes. So
yeah, this is my latest.
Tom's rolling on this one.
I'm not crazy about it, to be honest with you. It's way too big.
Then why'd you buy it?
Well, I didn't know the size when I bought it, but
you didn't watch a flip through or look up the.
No, it didn't. No, I pre-ordered. This was pre-ordered, but like it's gigantic. Look how big that
Oh,
is.
those are
Big
huge.
cars.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
that's almost as big as your head. And that's big.
Yeah.
How do you even shuffle something like that?
Very slowly and carefully. No, so I have the 2.0, which is smaller, obviously, which I like better. But yeah, I don't know. It's more of an art piece, I would say, than a usable deck. But
I was going to say you have a lot more decks than you do readings with, so it's for the appreciation.
all
of the
right,
art.
all right. Don't judge.
No, for the art. I mean, I get it. I have stuff that I love, and I still want to get some more decks because it's like art history based, which I absolutely love. So I probably will. I got some on Amazon that's like Botticelli, Klimt, one that I think is like a medieval. So yeah. Wow. Craft project, Tom? Hey, you could.
No, I'm not. I wouldn't. Not going to do anything with the cards. I'm going to keep them. They have to stay in their box.
You don't want to be like adventurous like Gerald and like cut holes and pop them and put them on other cards. No, I thought that was kind of fun. You don't want to.
Oh no, I mean I would do it if I had extra. I wouldn't do it my only deck of it.
Well, if it's too big, well, oh boy, Miss Tarot D was here.
Terrible.
I miss Tarot D tonight. I hope she's okay. It is treatment day, so she may not be feeling well. Let's see. You could
that's what I'm gonna do.
Live in the box and not use them.
That's what I'm gonna do, most likely.
Well, there goes that money.
It's an investment.
No, I'll take them out and appreciate them every now and then, but I'm not gonna use. I don't think I'll ever read with them.
I just can't see myself buying the deck and go, yeah, I'm not gonna do no readings with these.
You've definitely have gotten decks that you've been like, I'm not feeling.
Yeah, but I still try to pull them out. I still every now and then I'll be like, okay, let's pull you out.
Most of them I do try. There's only, I would say, out of like how many I have, it's only a handful that I don't use. And I've thought about selling a couple of them, but I'm not there yet.
Yeah. Well, when you need a down payment on a new home, especially when you plan on moving out here, you'll definitely need a.
I can't move out there. Too many Bigfoot.
Sherry, I've been trying to convince Tom to come out and hang out, join Lexi and I out here in the great state of Oregon.
PNW.
Bigfoot, but let's see. All right.
I would love to go out there one time, but
I've been out there. I've been out to Seattle. My husband's aunt lives out there. We saw Mount Rainier one day that we were there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Only one day. Only one day.
But here in Ashland, we're surrounded by mountains, and because of the rain that we need so much is starting to come in. I went out for a walk this morning. The sun was out, but there were like clouds just hovering, not above or, just right there in the middle, just how they all drape. They were like draping, around. Beautiful. I absolutely love it.
I don't think Tom will ever step foot in the woods.
Yeah, I'm not a woods guy.
Oh, yeah, Isadora. Tom can come over visit me and he can take the picture.
It's the path paved, because maybe then, but
yes, the path is paved where I took that picture of the.
Okay, then maybe.
My goodness.
Concrete.
Allison's been here.
Steel around me.
Yeah, she knows exactly. But she's going to go south. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Portland does seem cool. I mean, I think there's a lot there that I would like, but I just can't logistically see.
We're south. We're in Ashland. So
you know what they got there in Portland? They got a bookstore that covers a whole city block.
Oh yeah.
It's the only one in the world. It's called Powell's Books.
Yeah, Powell's. I order from there. Yeah.
Yep.
I gotta go there.
I was going to tell you about that.
Yeah, I gotta make sure I drive up
a good
and
store.
Hit a couple stores, see if I can. And you can go with me because Lexi's husband's a guitar player. He likes rock music.
Yeah, he is.
Drive up and
He's got some nice guitars. He's got a nice. He's got a white Falcon that I'm jealous of.
Is that a Gretsch or something?
Yeah,
Like
the Gretsch White Falcon. Yeah.
okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
With a gold hardware.
yeah. She's got a huge vinyl collection. I'd be like, girl. Wow. I do too, Allison. I do
Me too.
Just get away from people. I'll be
Yep.
happy with nature. I mean, not so far where it's going to take an hour and a half to get somewhere to go shopping, but just yeah.
Then enjoy your life in the suburbs.
Well, are these considered suburbs? Well, I don't know. Ashland's different. You have to be here to be able to see and appreciate, Oh, she's doing it 100%. Yep.
All right.
She's
Are
got
you doing it alone?
Maybe not.
They said the climate here, it's kind of like a model thing. It's the climate.
That's the model.
That draws the people here. They said that the climate is Mediterranean and it's somewhat like Burgundy, France.
Okay.
Interesting.
Oh, that's why we have good grape growing soil, I guess. Yeah.
Quite possibly, Tom. Her and her Bigfoot. She's got a Bigfoot too. You missed that earlier. That was funny. Jackson, Allison in the chat. So yeah. But I definitely gotta get going, and I'm saving all my nickels. I'm debt free. That must be nice. And I'm going to make it happen. There you go, girl. And enjoy. So
I'm just waiting for Sherry to win the lottery for us.
Yeah.
She can send me some money.
Yeah.
Huh? Who?
What?
Yeah, we used to play the Powerball, but not anymore. We just kept wasting and losing money on that.
Yeah.
We play the Powerball. We play the Powerball when it gets above a certain amount.
Yeah, that's how I am too. It's.
I'm not a big gambler.
Oh, look!
I'm not either.
Tom, I don't buy tarot decks, Tom.
I know. That's. I don't buy that many either anymore.
Anthony does now.
I don't buy that much.
I like that, honey. But yeah. So that's true, though. Sometimes, the cost of some of those decks, but, we all have our little things.
We all have our vices.
Yeah, we sure do. Oh, Allison, I thought of you the other day. I saw it in the store. I saw, hey, look at what was it called? Eats pork belly. I went, there's pork belly.
Oh, yeah.
I thought of you. I'm like, no, I'm not going to touch it, but I thought of you, Allison. Pick 5 has better odds.
It does, but yeah, I mean that's the problem. Like we all jump in on like when like the Powerball is huge, but so is everybody else. So our odds are garbage. That's true. I agree with that.
Yeah, they're like investments too.
I wouldn't. No, don't look at it as an investment. That's a bad idea.
No. Okay. Well, I was going to say some decks you can sell now on eBay.
I do have some that are worth a lot of money, but like you don't bank on that for any of these. Because all it's going to take is like one mass market version to come out, and that price goes down.
That's why you got to sell now while the getting is good, right? Yeah. She says, I get it. They're beautiful. Yep.
Yeah.
She's able to say no.
Wow, you're a better person than I.
Well, on that note, Sherry, thank you so much for joining Tom and I. This was a pleasure. It was a blast.
Thank you for having me.
Maybe next time, if you join us, we can actually see what you look like.
Yeah, that's possible.
I do love your crow or your raven, whichever one that is.
I don't know. It's an AI image, so it's whatever. I told it to make a raven, so.
Here also says, yes, Tom, I am better. I know.
Probably. Not going to argue that.
The most expensive deck I bought is the investigation deck. Oh, so there's a couple different ones. So Isadora, I'm assuming you bought the one off of Etsy where they charge like $80 or so for those. Nah, that was insane. I like you anyhow.
How can you not?
Oh boy! We need like a Tom calendar doing his little.
Tom is a figment of our imagination.
Yes, exactly.
He's not real.
I'm not real.
No. Once we shut off the computer,
I cease to exist.
Sam comes and shuts off the little switch, and the video
The
camera
little AI,
shuts
yep.
off.
And I just blink out. I blink out of existence.
Tom hologram.
Yeah.
Tomogram.
Tom is not a bear. Oh my goodness! So again, everybody, thank you for joining us. Thank you, Sherry, and
thank you. It was nice talking to everybody.
Same. We'll have to maybe find another subject or something to talk about next month, and maybe Allison can join us too for another chat. That would be a lot.
I don't know if she's going to be rude.
You're not rude.
It's only room for one of us.
Walking in the twilight zone. Yeah. Sorry, I got the gold earrings on in my head. Sherry, I dig your avatar. I'm a Corbett girly too. Yep.
Thank you. I made it with AI, which usually pisses a lot of people off.
Yeah, some people, it is what it is,
Exactly.
So I have a start. Wait a minute, what is this? Oh, yeah, Mona had mentioned that she can't wait for Spielberg's movie Disclosure. That could be something we could talk about maybe next time.
I'm excited to see that.
So it's supposed to be coming out in June, I think, right? Or was it Memorial Day weekend for the?
Yeah, I think it's Memorial Day weekend. Yeah.
Okay. Oops, I almost hit end stream.
I could be wrong. I don't know. Yeah, I'm curious to see it.
So that'll be cool. Maybe we can.
What's it called?
It's Disclosure. Remember we saw that on
Disclosure
YouTube?
Day.
Yeah, or Disclosure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, alrighty, everybody.
Well, I subscribed, so I'll be back to chat at some point.
Very cool. Love that. Yeah, that we can, us three girls, Lexi, you and I, can we all gain up on Tom? Hey, and Allison can join us too. There we go.
I've been picking on him since 1997. So
exactly.
Yeah, they were sharing some story. Everyone thinks Tom is this cute, warm, cuddly little. Oh my God!
Ooh,
what a shit back in the day.
Back in the day, still out.
Yeah. I was like,
when I started talking to him, we had a mutual friend, and she says, "But have you ever seen a picture of him? He's scary."
It's a long time ago. I was young and
punky.
Yeah, a little bit more punky. Bludgier. Now I'm just a salary man. We're working for the corporate world.
Corporate whore.
Yeah.
I never, ever would have expected that.
Right? Me neither.
1997 Tom would hate 2026 Tom.
Not when he saw that I have the whole Kenneth Grant
No.
He would have been very happy with me.
All you would have to do is pull out the crystals, and he would laugh at you.
Who's Kenneth Grant?
Ridicule you.
Tom, who's Kenneth Grant?
He was a Thelmite who, like a student of Crowley, who started a kind of like an offshoot of Thelema, the Typhonian system. But yeah, there was a series of books that came out in the early 90s. Well, I mean, they were from the started, I think, in the 70s or whatever. But they were re-released again in the 90s, and I couldn't afford them at the time because I was young and broke. And it's 3 sets of 3 books, and now I have them all. I have them all because they were re-released again, and I was able to afford them, and I got them.
There you go.
I'd be very proud of myself.
Nancy Drews that I had collected from the 20s and 30s. I don't think the ladies are ever going to send those back to me. So,
I had Nancy Drews too.
Yeah,
I had so many Hardy
I had
Boys.
ones from the 20s, the 30s, 50s, and stuff. And I had people tell me they would hold on to my stuff, and when I would get out here, they would send my artwork and my books and stuff to me. And I've almost been here a year.
Oh,
so yeah. Who knows? I just may have to move on from those. But
You're in
yeah.
a better place.
Yes.
They're just things. It's a much
Oh,
better
yeah,
situation.
they're just things like your Kenneth Clark books. They're just things.
I know. I know. But
Yeah.
you had to make the decision that you had to know at the time that it was like only, there was, you didn't know for sure if you were going to see them again. So,
well, they promised me because of all the stuff I donated, money wise and stuff. So, but we'll see. If they're meant to come back to me, they will. So
there you go.
Yep,
there you go. The universe
All right.
will make it happen.
So, all right, everybody, have a great night.
Thank you. You too.
See everybody next time. So
Bye.
bye.